Have you found yourself wondering, what is my purpose? Why am I here? Recognizing the stranger in the mirror is the book for you. It helps us to unravel the mystery of who you really are, revealing your life's passion and why you should unveil the real you to the world. We need you. You are valuable and necessary for those who are connected to you. Do not be afraid to peek in and discover all your gifts and talents to share. It's real freedom when we reveal our authenticity. Stacey Bullock is a two-time best-selling author, transformational speaker, and host of Tools for Everyday Living TV show. She is committed to igniting resilience, personal transformation, and building life skills of her audiences and clients. The author of 2 previously written self-help books, Beaten Oil and Regain Power Through Resilience, Don't Let Your Brain Go Numb. Stacey imparts lessons that teaches readers to utilize their light as a guide for others, and discovering inner strength and resiliency to bounce back when life throws curveballs. Stacey may be reached for speaking engagements, leadership and employee training, and life skills coaching via her email at stacy@powerandresilience.com.
Great day, beautiful souls. Thank you for joining us on Tools for Everyday Living. I am your host, Stacey Bullock. And today we also will have a special guest with us, and I'm so excited. I can't wait for her to come on and join us. But you know what? We're going to slow down a little bit, and because I got some ways that I want to break this in, because the title alone might have some people thinking, self-discipline equals success. Are you committed to winning? We might be having a little angst with some of the words, especially that one discipline word and commitment. There may be some things that we say, I'm not really sure if I want to hear about that. But trust me, you are going to enjoy yourself today. You're going to walk away with some tools for everyday living. You're going to walk away with some tools that are going to ignite your life even more. And if you are at a point where you're like, okay, I'm not really feeling this life journey right now, hopefully something that we say will ignite and spark a fire and get you back up on your feet again. So that, when we get in places, sometimes we often ask ourselves, well, how did I get here? And what does this mean? And how do we do this? So today, me and my guests, we're going to break down some areas of life that we need to find ourselves having discipline in, self-discipline. Nobody else gonna do it for us. We have to do this for ourselves. Nobody's going to come and hold the adult's hand and say, let's get this done. We have to purpose in our heart to get it done. So we're going to talk about some disciplining when you have, when you're a parent, especially when you're a single parent. We're going to talk about what happens when the game changes. Life is going along its way and all of a sudden, bloop, bloop, we hit a little bump in the road. And it's like, oh my goodness, what do I do now that the game has changed? I'm no longer married. I thought I was going to be married forever. I am now facing some type of life challenge. A child is not going in the direction that we might think they should be going in. We might lose our job, but we have to find out, what is it about this self-discipline that is going to give me the success that I need to win. Yes, we need discipline to win. We know about the obvious. We think about discipline, and sometimes some people think it's just a bad word. It's a negative word. Shouldn't be negative. It should be a positive. Today, when you leave here from watching Tools for Everyday Living, you're going to have a positive perspective about the word discipline, because you're going to win. We're going to win at life. And that is so important that we get that understanding, because life is going to throw us some curveballs that make us feel like we're not going to win today. But I guarantee you, if you stay disciplined within yourself, we are going to win. What is it going to take? What kind of discipline will it take for you to fulfill purpose? I'm not going to answer that question because I can't. I can only tell you what is going to take for me, Stacy Bullock, to fulfill purpose. You have to say, I'm going to dig in and find out what it's going to take for me to fulfill purpose. You know, sometimes we become parents, we become employees, we have different facets of life that we find ourselves adventuring in, but we really may not have the discipline that is needed to keep us moving in the right direction. If the things come up that look like a barrier, now what? That's telling us that, you know what? I need to practice. That's what discipline, one of the definitions that I read, it says that it is a practice. That means that, when people go to college, they want to have a discipline. They want to have a specific, not trade, but you know what I mean. They want to get their degree in a specific area. I should know that. But anywho's, they find themselves in a specific discipline. So let's say a doctor. Many types of doctors. There's internal medicine doctors, there are cardiologists, there are chiropractors. So the chiropractor, the cardiologist part, that is the discipline. That is the part that they are focused on, the part that they specialize in. So now that can give you more insight on how you start to think about, what am I disciplined in? We all have something that we are so much stronger in areas than in other areas. But discipline, it has some rules for us to follow. We have to make sure that we are following the rules. I know we might not like that word, rule, but we have to. Life has rules. Discipline gives us an expectation that we are going to have a life. The word discipline comes from a Latin word, means instruction and training, not the part that we were so quick to think about first. It's a negative thing. Oh, I'm gonna be punished, or I'm going to laughing back because I'm gonna tell on myself, I'm gonna get a whipping, So no, that's not the kind of discipline that we're talking about right now. We're looking at finding ways of having the right instructions and the right training, that we will learn, that we will comprehend who we are. But we're gonna come back in a few minutes. I have a guest on here. Let me tell you, my friend, Sylvia Best. I can't even describe to you what she means to me, who she is to me. She became family. We have been co-workers until she retired for almost 13 years, and all a glorious friendship. Yes, we've had our moments, but we found out that the discipline of love will keep you focused on what's important. So when we get back, we're going to talk with my friend, Sylvia Best. Hi, my name is Stacy Bullock. I am the president and CEO of Ordered Steps Incorporated, a nonprofit organization whose mission is to provide tangible hope to formerly incarcerated female veterans and homeless women. We give them an opportunity to live a productive life while participating in our one-year training courses to guide them in life skills and job training. All right, we are back. And I'm going to just give you a little background. They call them bios about my friend Sylvia Best, who was born and raised in Washington, D.C. Yes, go Commanders. She's the mother of two wonderful children. Sylvia such a disciplined woman. Let me tell you, this is what I received from her. She's such a disciplined woman. She was able to retire before most federal government employees retired. After serving 38 years in the federal government, Sylvia retired at the young age of 56. No, she didn't go get another job because of discipline. She was able to retire now and do what she is loving most to do, and that is being a nanny to her grandson. And what a wonderful way to make sure that legacy and lineage goes on. She gets to imparting life through the title of grandmother. That is an awesome position to be in. She's grateful that her children have become the individuals that they have become. And I know them, and they are wonderful people. And that was another thing that just really intrigued me about my then coworker to friend and now sister family, that her children were so respectful. And that was one of her key words, that she instilled in them, to be respectful, because that's what she believed, that children should be respected and heard. And also, she believes that the grace of God is what has brought them to this point and will continue to carry them forward. I speak that right now. In Sylvia's spare time, this is something that we have done many times and have had so much fun. I can't wait to do it again. Sylvia loves to travel. Sylvia loves a crab fest, no matter whether it's short distance or long distance. Everybody, say hello to my friend Sylvia Best.
Hello, hello, hello. Hi, Stacy. How are you, sweetheart?
I'm good. I'm good. So glad to have you here. So glad that you took time out of your schedule to hang out with us and have which some people may think is a difficult conversation
Hmm.
about being disciplined, and I think that this word came to me when I was thinking about discipline. I said, I think it's a life shaper. And,
Yes.
and I feel like, so you shaking your head, yes. And I said, I think Sylvia, she might feel the same way
Mhm.
about that, because the game will change in life. And I want to ask you, what do we do when the game changes, when we're living life one way one day and just going on, and then next thing we know, it's changed. So what do we do?
What do we do when the game of life change? Well, when it changes, you definitely have to keep moving. You can't stop because it has changed. And you have to speak encouragement into yourself to know that whatever is
Mm,
going on, be it good or bad, sometimes the game of life can change for bad. So we just we pray to God for strength every day. We encourage ourselves to keep going. We
mhm.
look forward to better days.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes. Something you just said, encourage yourself. And I said
absolutely.
something earlier, that nobody is going to come and grab the adult's hand
No,
and
sweetheart.
take you from class to class. No
No,
one, like,
that's
it's
for
not.
sure.
Right. It's not that first day of school no more. When mama gonna take you by, or daddy or
No,
auntie or grandma gonna take you by the hand and say, come on, baby, it's time for you to enter into another level.
absolutely. We're grown folks, and everybody don't have someone with them to encourage them. So we have to encourage ourselves,
Mm,
and that's very important. A lot of
mm,
times we are looking for validation or something like that. No, validate yourself. Tell yourself you're strong. Tell yourself that you are loved and you're loving, tell yourself that you can do it all things through Christ that strengthens you, but we have
Yes.
to do it for ourselves. If we don't, it's not a good thing. We could become depressed because woe's me, nobody tells me this. No, look in the mirror and say, good morning, gorgeous. Yes.
Yes, 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 yes. You brought that word up, looking in the mirror. I got that book called Recognizing the Stranger in the Mirror.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
and that is one of its definite precepts in that book, that we have to love ourselves unconditionally.
It's very
But
important. Mhm.
yes, and do you think that takes work?
It takes work. It doesn't just happen. You do. I believe you have to. You're not going to wake up and say, because if we don't encourage ourselves, if we don't speak to ourselves, then how are we going to, get where we need to be? I
Hmm.
believe it do. How are we going to get there?
How are we going to get there?
If we're sitting there being dormant, not saying, not doing anything,
Mm,
is that love? Is that loving yourself? Is that,
mm,
and I think it's so important that we do love ourselves, because if we don't know how to love ourselves, how do we expect others to love us?
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. You said, how are we going to get there? I was exercising one day, and they have this area called Signal Hill out here near Long Beach, California. And it's named that for a good reason. The hills, the hills are like mountains. And I purposely go out there and walk for an hour.
Okay.
And so, but the first time I did it, my body stopped literally
I'm sure
in
it
the
did.
middle of the first hill. So where you going? And my feet said, we're not going nowhere no more. My
Mm-mm.
legs, my calves, my thighs, everything said no. But I asked myself the question, well, how are you going to get to your car?
Yes,
If you stay right here in this one spot, you are not going to get to your next destination.
absolutely.
But I'm thinking about now, though, I actually do it more frequently, and I don't get stuck in the middle of the hill anymore. So,
Right.
what would you say for somebody to do? What would they practice? What would they have in place when life goes awry?
Well, what I have in place for me is God.
Mhm,
That's what keeps me going. That's what keeps me moving. We got to
mhm,
learn how to pray,
mm,
and prayer daily, which is very important, I believe.
mhm,
When we get stuck, and it
mhm.
happens to all of us. It does. It's okay to be stuck just a little bit, just for a moment. Throw your little pity party just for a
A
minute.
moment, just a
What?
moment.
Just a
Yeah,
moment.
yeah.
Dust your knees off and say, I got this. Let's go. Let's go.
Yes.
Let's
Yes.
go.
Yes. That's
Yes.
that form of what I would call pick yourself up by your bootstraps.
Yes, indeed.
Spending as much time as I did in the United States Army, many days. And now that I've been out over 20 years, it's pull yourself up by your bootstraps, girl. Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's
Let's
do it.
go. Yeah.
Let's go. We may not even know what direction we're going in,
But
but
you gotta
because
go.
we are so self-disciplined,
Mm,
because we have that thing that says, no, we're going to tell ourselves to
right.
get up and move, get up and go, and watch once we begin to move, how things begin to just be right in place where they need to be
Yes.
when we get there. But if we don't move, we won't get there.
Doing nothing is
Woo.
not an option.
Not an option.
It's not
Not
an
an option.
option. No.
Not an option. We're going to take
Mm-mm.
a break and we're going to come back because this conversation is getting real exciting.
I'm Stacy Bullock, and I'm committed to waking your power to bounce back quickly from life's challenges. I've learned there is power in resilience. There was a point in my life when I closely identified with the Sade song, Soldier of Love. Mostly what I identified with was the part that says, I've lost the use of my heart, but I'm still alive. Doubt, disappointment, rejection, it left a stain on my soul. But that's the place where our determination lives. And that's the place where we have to dig in and find resilience so that we can bounce back. I have taken all of that disappointment and despair, and now I use it as a catalyst. It has become my energy to fight to become a better, a stronger human being every day. Why do I do this? 2 reasons. So I can help you understand that you can become better, and that you can become stronger, and then you can survive any situation. The second reason is because I was born to do it. I am a transformational speaker who can help you know that there is power after pain.
Every day, living tools for every day, living tools for every day, living every day, living tools for every day, living tools for every day, living tools for every day,
We're back.
Yay.
So yes, Sylvia,
Yes, sweetheart.
we mentioned that you are from Washington, D.C.
Woo
And
woo.
yes, and from my understanding, the neighborhood that you grew up in was one of the tougher parts of DC. And
Yes.
I want you to tell us how that may have played a role in your being able to be so disciplined in life.
Oh gosh. Well, I grew up in the projects of 2365 11th Street Northwest. I grew up in the hood, but I wouldn't trade it for the world. Just seeing the drugs and the young people, doing the negative. I tried hanging out with the worst of them, and I tried hanging out with the best of them. I just didn't seem to fit in. I wasn't a bad girl, and I think I was closer to the good girl, but I just didn't want to do what everybody else was doing. Not that I didn't try the weed or the cigarettes or whatever the case may be. But growing up in the projects, listen, we didn't have a lot. You couldn't tell me I was poor because my parents, to me, they did the best that they could. The
Did you
government,
say Poe?
I know, the government grilled cheese sandwiches, sweetheart, they were good. And
Oh,
because
don't sleep on that cheese.
don't
Don't
sleep
sleep
on
on
the
that
cheese,
cheese.
sweetie.
Don't sleep.
Yes, but because my mother and my dad too, because he was the provider at the time, my mom stayed home and took care of us. You couldn't tell me we didn't have it going on. We got the food stamps and everything too. Never, we didn't live lavishly because we couldn't. But Daddy had them crabs on the table on Saturday morning. Okay,
But
my
that's
mom
where that
never.
came from.
Yes, indeed, it did. It came way. Listen, that goes back a long way. But my mom, she made home, and she was such a loving, caring person. It wasn't always what she said; it was
Mhm.
what she did and how she did it. You know, she was
Mm-hmm.
just a sweetheart of a person. Never complained about anything. You just wouldn't even know something was going on with her, period.
Wow.
But I didn't have a lot. And I think, it's just learning to accept life as it comes and don't complain. Don't complain. I could have been, well, I grew up in the projects and that. No, they did the best they did. And I'm grateful for that. Even the people that
Hmm. Hmm.
I grew up with, we are Facebook friends. We even get together and have reunions. So it was a great thing. We were a family up there. We looked out for each other. At one point,
Yes.
anybody walked through that terrace, okay? Or they was going to take a good whooping, all right? We had some folks that beat the police up. We
Oh, wow.
did.
Yes. And key word that you said though, family. So that right there says that your family is not necessarily always those people who are in your bloodline.
Absolutely, sweetheart.
You
Some of
know,
those are better than the people in my bloodline. I still love y'all though. Yes, indeed.
yes, yes, we still love y'all. I
Yes,
got some too. Uh,
yes. You still
you
love them?
know,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, and I think that love for me it carried over into one of your federal government positions when we met in 2010, and I don't even know how you maintained your composure, your professionalism, your way of dealing with people and talking to them. Um, I don't understand how you did it sometimes because I would come out there and go, breathe, me, breathe. And how did you do that? 38 years though.
38 years. Thank you, Lord. Um, Patience. It definitely took patience, but I was kind of a no nonsense person, Stace. I don't like drama. When I went on and I got one of my jobs at the federal government and I began to, work there and meet people. One girl was like, I don't understand. You don't talk much. You don't even talk about people. I said, I mind my business and I know my space. I don't even want a chair at my desk because I don't want you to sit there. I'm there to get a job done. You don't have to love me. You don't have to like me, but we're going to get this job done. So I kind of focused in on what I
Mhm.
was doing, working with my veterans that are calling in, taking care of them. But I just kind of stayed to myself and mind my business. And I take pride in my customer service because I enjoy doing that. And I believe I got all of that from my mom because her patience, yes. But it was just you have to be patient. I had people that will walk up to me and just start telling me their life story, and I'll listen, but I'll offer them words of encouragement anyway, I can.
Mhm.
I just
Mhm.
say that's what it was that God had for me to do at that time. And it was okay. I would never push you away, say, no, I don't want to know. No, you're coming to me for a reason. So I have to open my heart to you and talk with you and let you know some things I went through. It's not as bad as you seem. You're going to be okay. You know what I'm saying? So I just enjoy doing that, especially when your younger generation come to you looking for guidance. You have to be there. Never ever would I turn anybody away. I definitely got a positive word for you. Yes, indeed.
Yes, and that I mean that leads right into what I'm just sitting up here thinking parenting. That was one of the things that I so admired about you when we met. And
Uh-huh.
I admit to my children even now, I said I am a better parent to adult children
Yeah.
than I was to smaller children. But that was because of my experiences and things that I didn't know. And
Okay.
so, but I met you
Mm-hmm.
and you would talk about your children. And then, like I said, and then eventually I got to meet them.
Yes.
Tell us, what did you do? You mentioned divorce and, being a federal employee for not just regular folk, but for political appointees
Yeah.
and high ranking officials in the federal government, and still finding that place of peace and happiness and being there, and the veterans. Let's not forget us. I
Oh,
want to
Lord.
include, yes, don't forget about, encouraging them. And
Yes.
this is happening every day.
Yes, it is.
What did you do? What This is the
Well, as far as my children were concerned, they were my world, and I took so much pride in just taking care of them, making sure that they were okay, not sending them to school upset, because they need to learn. And all I asked for, bring me
Mhm.
good grades. Bring me good
Right.
grades. I believe that if you have something on your mind, even as a child, you can respectfully speak your word. Speak with it. I told him, if you have something that you feel I'm wrong about, or even your dad, feel free to come to me and we can talk about it. So I wanted them to feel comfortable. I didn't want them to just feel like they were seen and not heard. I felt they deserved, honestly, to be heard out. And there were times where they did come to me and talk with me, and I was fine, whether I liked it or not, whether it was about me, whether it was about their dad. I just needed to make sure that they were comfortable, that they were okay, that they knew that they could come to me with anything. I would say to them, when they came home, or even before they go to school, before the year started, we would pray. I would pray with my children, God, to cover them with your blood so my babies can be safe. But I would just have them to, talk to me about whatever's going on. Whenever they came in, I'm doing the drill. How was your day? What you do? Is this going on, that going on? Because the one thing I did not want them to say was their mother did not have time for them. They cannot say that to me. No, because I want to make myself available. I'm going to stop what I'm doing, whatever attention you need, whatever child needs me at that time, then I'm going to go on and discuss whatever is going on with the child. So far as my children, I just needed to make sure they were okay. Got them into some sports, got my daughter into cheering, my son into basketball, to keep them focused on what they were, just life, because life can get in the way for children too. So I needed to make sure they were okay. Though they were my world, and they still are. They still are, as far as the job and working for the political folks and working with the veterans. I didn't let it rattle me. No matter what, I've been on the line with veterans that talking about suicide and things. I had to make sure I said the right thing just so they wouldn't jump, or just so they wouldn't do anything. So I took that very serious. I
Mhm.
had to take it serious. And you have to have compassion for those. We all go through something, but if I get on the phone upset and mad and angry at the world, no, you can't do that. You can't do it. But I enjoyed what I did. I really did. Peace. Listen, it's nothing like peace. We have a choice. Chaos can be going on all around me.
Mm.
I'm going to keep my
Mm.
peace. I'm going to have my joy. I'm sorry.
Mhm.
The world didn't
Mhm.
give it. The world can't take it away.
Exactly. Exactly. Just the peace.
Yes.
You have to be able to carry that around with you.
All the time.
You have to be excuse me, you have to be able to make the choice. Self-discipline is a choice. You have to say, I am choosing peace. I'm choosing happiness. I'm
Yes.
choosing joy. Regardless of the situation, we have to make sure that our choices lead us to a disciplined place. And
Yes.
you mentioned that word space, and that space that we create through our discipline,
Yes.
it carries us. It causes us to persevere. It causes us to have this powerful tool of this inner strength that
Yes.
nobody else can see. So when we show up with this tool that is mastered,
Yeah.
they're gonna think like I did when I met you and I saw, you in the office and administrating, and I knew some of the back whirlwind because I was on the other side of the chair, if I
Yes.
can say it that way, in a different section of the same department. And
Yes.
so the whirlwind of what was going on some days, I don't know how you maintain that composure. I could come to your desk at any time and you would, hi, sweetheart, how are you? And I'm like, Okay, thank you. Thank you for that encouragement to push me.
Yeah.
Especially as when I was new. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
what is this? I had
Mm-hmm.
not encountered anything like that where things were just moving such at a rapid pace. But I had you there. And I told you, I believe God set you right there at that appointed time
Mm-hmm.
just for me. I know that sounds a little selfish, but you helped me stay grounded. You helped me stay focused. You helped me not to pay attention to the chatter. You helped me not create bad habits of getting an attitude when somebody says something to you. And you helped me so much
Wow.
that it was like, wow. But and you being in the position that you were in and in the position you're in now as my sister, I'm so thankful and just grateful for this connection.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, wow, I don't have to try to be something that I'm not trying to make sure that the people that I'm working with are happy. Because if I just follow her lead and her example and be my true self,
Yes.
you helped me learn that.
Wow.
That's we talked about that earlier. Discipline is something that is to be learned, to help you learn, to
Mm-hmm.
help you gain instructions. And when we gain instructions, we gain confidence in
Yes.
who we are.
Yes.
And now look where we get to sit because of this. We're talking to people worldwide. It's a
Yes.
lot of people on this platform right now. When
Wow.
we come, we're gonna take a break and we're gonna come back and we're gonna talk to them for a little bit longer,
Okay.
and we'll see you on the flip side. We gotta.
Have you found yourself wondering, what is my purpose? Why am I here? Recognizing the stranger in the mirror is the book for you. It helps us to unravel the mystery of who you really are, revealing your life's passion and why you should unveil the real you to the world. We need you. You are valuable and necessary for those who are connected to you. Do not be afraid to peek in and discover all your gifts and talents to share. It's real freedom when we reveal our authenticity. Stacey Bullock is a two-time best-selling author, transformational speaker, and host of Tools for Everyday Living TV show. She is committed to igniting resilience, personal transformation, and building life skills of her audiences and clients. The author of 2 previously written self-help books, Beaten Oil and Regain Power Through Resilience. Don't let your brain go numb. Stacey imparts lessons that teaches readers to utilize their light as a guide for others, and discovering inner strength and resiliency to bounce back when life throws curveballs. Stacey may be reached for speaking engagements, leadership and employee training, and life skills coaching via her email at stacy@powerandresilience.com.
I don't like it. I don't like the way it is playing itself out, but I will not allow it to penetrate my safe space. We got to keep that sacred and set apart and consecrated. Don't let nothing infiltrate that space of peace and love and joy and meekness, and give you more faith and give you the space that gives you hope, that space that allows you to maintain your self-control. That is a wonderful place to be able to turn on at will. back.
Yes, we are.
So we have just a little bit more time. And I shouldn't say a little bit. We have a few minutes to talk about what was it that you told yourself to keep you going?
Ooh, what I told myself is it won't always be like this.
Mm,
Stace, there was a time, and I don't tell this story much, but my kids and I were coming from church, and they didn't know that I was broke. They wanted to go to McDonald's. I
mm,
ain't have $1 in my pocket. I said, "Come on, kids, let's play a game." I said, "Check the car down, shake the car down, and find you some money so we can go to McDonald's." So they did that, and my daughter was like, "Mom, you want something?" I said, "No, baby, I don't want anything." But I said to myself, I said, "God, it's not going to always be like this." So that's
mm,
one of the things, it won't. Just trust and believe and do the right thing. My
mm,
future is much greater than my past. The best
mhm.
is yet to come. These are the
Yeah.
things I'm still telling myself today. I'm more than
Mhm,
a conqueror. You know what I'm saying?
mhm,
Yes,
mhm.
I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me. Yes. Have I fallen down and dusted off my knees and got back up? I've had to do that too. I have. But yes, it won't, but you have to do something about it yourself. I can't just sit here and say it's not going to always be like this. No, sir. We have a job to do ourselves. We do.
Yes, we
Mhm.
do. I said earlier that life has rules.
Yes.
And if we are not disciplined enough within ourselves to navigate within those rules,
Yes.
we might find ourselves in situations
Oh,
that are not beneficial.
that's right.
And discipline is such a beneficial tool to us because it gives us the ability to create.
Yeah.
Because if and that's what you did when you said let's play a game.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's play a game
They didn't know
and
I was broke, but they didn't
right.
need to. They didn't need to worry about what I was going through. I didn't want to place that on them. That wasn't they no, I couldn't do that to my babies. No. They
And
were 12 and 6 at the time. Yeah.
that was a discipline by itself for you
Absolutely.
not to want to put something on your children
No, it's
that
not
they don't have to shouldn't have to carry.
they should not have to carry. It's not the child's responsibility to worry about where the food is coming from, where the McDonald's is coming. No, it's not their responsibility.
Right. And you showed them the creativity, the space that you opened up,
Yes.
even though you said, you know I don't have this,
Yeah.
but my discipline has given me a trust. My discipline has given me a um, broader perspective on how to navigate through life and have a trust in
Yes.
something that's not connected to me.
That's right.
Because I believe when the idea came to you to play the game, I truly believe that that idea came from God, because
Absolutely.
who knew that there was change
In the car.
in the car?
That's right.
And so when the change began to show up, did you hear what I just said? Did
When
y'all
it
hear what I
showed up.
said?
Yes,
When
ma'am.
the change
My God.
showed up,
Yes, sir.
that gave an opportunity for
Yes.
you to do something for your children that would show them, you know what? If I look for something, I'm going to find it. So
Yeah.
when they grow up,
Yes.
they'll say, you know what? We played that game with mama. Let me look. I'm going to look. I'm going to look. I'm going to check the cushions in the couch.
That's
Because,
right.
my friend slept over here a couple of weeks ago. He might have tried to, pay us on the slide and left some money in the
Left some money
cushion.
in the cushions.
I'm just saying, these are just
I know.
hypothetical
I
things,
know. Yes.
but it's just a matter of how the creativity showed up when it needed to.
When it needed to.
And
Absolutely.
and we have to understand that in being a disciplined human being, that the things that we need when we go after the instructions, when we go after learning, when we go after training as a human, not
Yes.
just stuff that's going to make us money. How
Right.
can we train our heart to not become cold to this world that is gone bonkers.
Oh, hasn't it gone bonkers?
Yes. And how do we continue to follow the principles of discipline? We have to have that within us,
Yes,
or we're not going to get it.
that's right.
Or we're not going to get it. It must be in us already. And if you didn't get it when you were little, you can still get it because you're still breathing.
You're still breathing. It's not too late.
Right. Make the choice to say, you know what? I want to persevere. Make the choice to say, I want to have inner strength. Make the choice to say, I'm not going to procrastinate anymore. I'm not going to be lazy anymore. I'm not going to create bad habits anymore. Make the choice, the most treasured practice to me, is discipline. Because we have to practice it. We have to maintain a level of it. And one of the words that I found is mastery. We have to master our self-control. One of the ads said, turn it on at will. If we cannot turn it on and off at will, we're going to be in trouble when we need it, because it's going to be needed.
Yes, it is going to be.
I know that may not have been the best speech, but it's going to be needed. Life is going to say, here I am.
Yes.
You need a tool.
Yes.
You need something that is going to help you navigate through this journey. It might change on you.
Yes, indeed.
It might look different tomorrow than it did yesterday. There is the great possibility that could happen.
Yes, absolutely, Stace. And what I also wanted to say, it didn't mean that I didn't have the money in the bank, but at that time, I didn't have no money on me. It was like, I'm broke. I can't do it right now,
See?
because discipline says just because, right. Discipline says just because you do have the money to do it, it doesn't mean you always have to do it.
Woo! Yes. And I told you that when we would get ready to go on a trip, I wanted to go somewhere. And I said, hey, Sylvia, let's go do such and such. And you said, well, I can't do that right now. And I was like, oh, okay. But that resonated with me now, 13 years. I mean, as the years have gone by, it stayed with me to say, Stacy, just what you just said. Just because you have the money doesn't mean that you need to spend it.
That's right. That's discipline.
That's discipline and wisdom combined.
Yes.
And that's something that we definitely need today, to combine many things to navigate through this thing called life.
Yes.
I'm so glad you joined me today. This has been beyond exciting. This has been I don't even have a word for it. I wish we were in the same state. We could go hang out at Longhorn or Outback.
I miss you. I miss you so much. Listen, Stacy and I would jump in the truck. We would go to Delaware for a comedy show. We'd fly to Atlanta for a function or something. She was the driver or whatever. She didn't mind. But Stacy, I'm so very proud of you, sweetheart. I love you dearly. I do. But God, I call her the mayor of Long Beach. And you're about to be Oprah #2, but much better, sweetheart. And I'm just so grateful and thankful that God allowed you to be in my life. I really am. You're just a sweetheart, and all that you're doing, listen, the best is yet to come, and God is not through with you yet. So you keep on doing what you're doing, sweetheart. Keep doing what you're doing. I'm just, yes. And I thank you for allowing me to come on the show today.
Thank you. We talked behind the scenes a little bit yesterday. We talked anyway, but I said, let's get this out now so we won't be on screen crying.
Yes, we had to get that out the way. I'm like,
Right.
oh,
Right. Because
yeah,
it's just such a blessing to meet somebody and you all are connected for life. We are connected for life.
we are, Stace. We are
Right.
very connected. And what I want to say to those that are watching, you never know who's watching you. Because
Mm.
we've talked before, but when you laid on me all of this, I'm like, Stace, where'd that come from? But if you just be yourself, you just never know who's watching you. So smile, even through the pain, smile. It's going to be okay. We have to go through no pain, no gain. We all have heard that before. We all
Ex-
have heard it,
Exactly.
but we have a
Exactly.
choice. We
We
can be
have a
negative
choice.
or we can be positive. It's
We
up to
have
you.
we have a choice. We
Yeah.
have a choice. I choose. I pray we make the right choices. I pray that we master discipline. It will
Yes.
take us so far for such a long time. And the moral to this whole story is if we develop a disciplined mindset,
Yes.
there
Yes.
isn't anything in life that we can't handle.
That's true. That is true.
I hope that something was said today here on Tools for Everyday Living that will stick with you for eternity.
Yeah.
There are some of those things that you get and you grasp hold to the entire meaning of it. You become it. So I hope that we become these disciplined masters of ourselves, that
Mhm.
we become the master of learning, that we become masters of instructions, and we become the master of our life, because it's going to take that. And when I say master, I don't mean the ruler of, the Lord over. For me, that is God. But God gives us the wisdom
Yes.
to direct ourselves through life in a decent and in order way.
Mhm.
So again, I thank you all for joining us today. And before we close out, we got to say, always be awesome.
I'm Stacy Bullock, and I'm committed to waking your power to bounce back quickly from life's challenges. I've learned there is power in resilience. There was a point in my life when I closely identified with the Sade song, Soldier of Love. Mostly what I identified with was the part that says, I've lost the use of my heart, but I'm still alive. Doubt, disappointment, rejection, it left a stain on my soul. But that's the place where our determination lives. And that's the place where we have to dig in and find resilience so that we can bounce back. I have taken all of that disappointment and despair, and now I use it as a catalyst. It has become my energy to fight to become a better, a stronger human being every day. Why do I do this? 2 reasons. So I can help you understand that you can become better, and that you can become stronger, and then you can survive any situation. The second reason is because I was born to do it. I am a transformational speaker who can help you know that there is power after pain.
Every day, living tools for every day, living tools for every day, living every day, living tools for every day, tools for every day,
I don't like it. I don't like the way it is playing itself out, but I will not allow it to penetrate my safe space. We got to keep that sacred and set apart and consecrated. Don't let nothing infiltrate that space of peace and love and joy and meekness, and give you more faith, and give you the space that gives you hope, that space that allows you to maintain your self-control. That is a wonderful place to be able to turn on at will. Hello, join me, Stacey Bullock, host of Tools for Everyday Living on E360's Positive Vibrations channel every Friday at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on E360 TV.